That's where the magic happens. Today we're at Tallulah Gorge, and we are going to get a permit. There's only 100 a day that are allowed to go into the gorge. And if there's no flash flooding concerns, anything like that, we get to go. And it's supposed to be a strenuous hike. I don't know how strenuous it would be, but I guess we'll know soon. This is the visitor center. I mean, I think they call it the interpretive center. So we're going to stop in here, get the permits, and we're going to learn more about Tallulah Gorge. And this is where it begins, right from the campground. So it's a paved trail. It's not too bad right now, but we're going to try to get passes to the gorge. We tried originally at 8 a.m. and they said no because too much water. But apparently at 9:30 a.m. they're going to close a valve, and there will be, I guess, less chance that we'll be swept away in a torrent of water and debris. So from the campground, a short trail takes you to the first overlook of what is the gorge, and it's nice. Right next to the gorge is the bridge that is actually the dam. That is the dam. That is our first waterfall, albeit artificial. Heads right down to the gorge, and then the flow of water picks up from there as it naturally did once, probably 100 years ago, before semi-trucks were transporting goods across the country. Those are the first steps that lead to the interpretive center, where we hopefully get our passes to go into the gorge. And by the way, that looks like dogwood, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's flowering right now. I didn't know Kenny from South Park would be joining me. Once we come up the trail a little more, there's a couple signs: interpretive center, stairs to bridge, overlook 2, and this is the first real overlook that's nice. They do have a nice interpretive center, which I guess kind of mimics the gorge. And there's all kind of things here to take a look at. Owls and bears, including what looks to be a very old bobcat, or perhaps a very aggressive beaver. Speaking of aggressive beavers, interpretive center. Mink, an otter, some squirrels, little gray fox. All have met their doom in one way or another, and now they perpetually spend the rest of their lives in the interpretive center.
I could stuff you and put you here after you meet your doom in the interpretive center.
I would like that. Where would you put me?
I'll put you next to the beaver.
So unfortunately, could not get a gorge pass. It's still too dangerous. They said try back at noon. It's a 4-hour strenuous hike down to the water. So we're going to hike everything we can and show you a little bit more of Tallulah Gorge. We're coming up on overlook A1, so I'm assuming there's an A2. A couple of big differences between this and western trails that are at an elevation that's fairly high is there are highways in the distance, which you can see cars moving back and forth, which, I don't know, somehow for me takes away from the gorge. From this area you can see the south rim and that trail. And of course this is another look at the gorge. And there's a bridge, footbridge, which we're going to go over later, over the gorge. Right now this trail is not strenuous. It's pretty easy. If you're really out of shape and you have bad knees, there's some pretty good angles, but nothing, you're not doing any climbing or anything outrageous. Along this trail are the remnants of Wallenda's cable foundation that he used to walk across the gorge. Wallenda was killed, as I recall, tight-roping at another location, I think in a city. He fell to his death. But this looks like the contraption they used. Actually, this is it. It's turned on its side. You can see where the cable ran over that rounded steel right there. And yeah, this is pretty cool. Quite the contraption. It turned on its side. Ah, okay. It makes more sense now because I see where it was bolted down. So maybe they destroyed it after it was used. I don't know, but these cement foundations were bolted down to, they're threaded, you can see. And they were bolted down to these. These are the feet of his stand that's now on its end. Looks like an old oil well from the looks of it. The southern Wallenda gizmo is somewhere over there. Maybe where those people are. And just to see like what he crossed. Yeah. That would definitely have been to his death. He had fallen during that one. That's interesting. Like further examining this, you can see that might be some of the cabling they used. That may be the cable they used. Actually, I don't know. Either for the tower to connect to the base. They do have a small little sign. 1970. Carl Wallenda. Pretty cool. And he did 2 headstands along the way. That's what he was known for. Headstands. In fact, his last headstand caused him to fall, as I recall. It was pretty windy, pretty rough, and I believe I watched that on live TV. Pretty healthy for a kid. In the distance is the parking lot for the interpretive center, and we've managed to get through all of that over to here, Inspiration Point, where we found a very inspirational place to sit and enjoy the gorge in its entirety. We've also found some cliffs. We're trying to determine what kind of bird activity. Most likely vultures. It's windy. They like the winds coming off the rocks. But there could be a golden eagle or something in there. Aside from the gorge, we are on a mountain. It's about 1,600 feet, right near Inspiration Point. And we're still in spring. Things are coming back. And nothing's really green or blossoming like it will be in a few months. We've gone from the Wallenda foundation for his tightrope, and now we're taking the stairs down to the bridge, the suspension bridge we saw from up top. It's rated as strenuous.
think this is a party place.
And if you were ever wondering what the underside of a suspension bridge looks like, large lumber, everything's been replaced recently, the boardwalk. That's hard to see because of the sun, but there's a shackle and cable up to the metal structure. Once you're up on the suspension bridge and about halfway through, you get to stop and get a few pictures. It's absolutely gorgeous up here. It's not as nerve-wracking as you think. How do you like the movement under your feet?
I dig it.
Here's the stairwell back up, which is probably the strenuous part of the hike. We are at Hurricane Falls. Now the strenuous part starts, because now I need to go up about 500 to 600 steps, and excuse me, and so that's what I'm doing. There's Bigfoot coming off the strenuous trail. I don't know if I'll be able to play his response. I've been having to cut him lately. He's confused, clearly confused. How was it? I don't think it was strenuous.
I think we should go back down and come back up again.
No, we're not going back down and coming back up, but we're going to go see 8, 9, 10. So along the way from observation point 10 is this neat little seat that's set into this little nook in the rocks. Pretty cool. And more steps. Coming back from 10 and 9 and 8 are additional views of the falls, which we were down at. Actually, I think this is a better view. Somebody told Larry and I that if we walk under the bridge, there's less chance that we die. And they told us to go under this bridge, and actually you can see the dam, which is really kind of neat. And what I like old roads, and there's a road. The top of the dam, like in a lot of places, also served as the road, which eventually was replaced by this monster. And if you're close to being done with the trail, I would suggest highly the old store, general store. It's really fantastic, and not a lot of people here. And finally, if you are happy with your hike and you want something really great to eat, there's a wonderful place called 1882. It's an old railroad depot, and their menu is fantastic. Larry and I had a great time there. It's very quaint and really hit the spot, so please enjoy it. That's where the magic happens. Please, if you did like this video, like and subscribe, share it with other people, let them know about Wild Journeys. Thanks very much. Hope to see you soon.